Testing, testing, 1 2, testing, 1 2. How many people do you have? Four. Okay. All right, guys. Let's give it a few minutes for the rest of the guys to join us. Thank you. Let's give it 2 minutes. So, can you guys hear me clearly? Can you see the screen? Can you hear my sound? Just type yes in the chat if you can hear me and you can see the screen. Okay. Thank you, Mikateko. Okay. What's the time? So it's 19:33. 19. So 7:35. We're starting. 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, we're starting. Okay. Let's fine. Let's start. Those who do join, then they'll catch up. This video recording will be available on YouTube. Then they'll just go and catch up. So today we are going to focus on this reviewing classification and protection insights. So for those of you who did join us last week, we were focused on what we call sensitive information type and trainable classifiers. Okay, I'm gonna just share some of the guys here on WhatsApp. Please bear with me. Just hold on. Okay, let's carry on. So as I was saying last week, for those of you who did join, we were focused on different information types. I'm gonna share on my screen here. Okay, I'm gonna share this tab here, and I'm gonna come here. Then I'll click on classifiers. So this is what we use for data security. For those of you, if it's the first time that you're joining us, this Microsoft Purview is what we use to protect data. So last week we were focused on these classifiers, trainable classifiers and sensitive information types. These are some of the tools that we use to protect sensitive data. Trainable classifiers. This one uses AI, and then this one, it doesn't use AI. It requires you set it up manually. So today we're focused on reporting. I'm gonna come here, then I'll scroll up, reports. So today we're gonna focus on this one, reports. So this platform, by the way, is, if you want access, I'll share the link, but this platform is not free. Microsoft does charge for a license, but I'll share a link for those who are interested, who wanna play around in this, get to practice it and see how it works. So let's scroll up. So today we're going to focus on this information protection reports in Microsoft Purview. So basically, reports that provide us with a centralized view of data classification, protection policies, encryption, security activities across Microsoft 365, Azure, AWS, on-premise storage. So basically, reports are, if you want a view basically of how your data is classified and how the protection policies and encryption are spread across the Microsoft 365. Let me share this. So reports are for centralized view, and these reports are used for monitoring the sensitivity label adoption. Basically, you want to see which data has labels, which data does not have labels. For those of you who don't know what labels are or what I'm talking about, if you did, hello, TT. If you did join us last week, then I did give a demonstration of what labels are. I'll just show you quickly. So on my Outlook here, open a new Outlook. There's an option there. This is where I can assign labels. These are called labels. Basically, these they highlight the sensitivity of the email that I'm sharing. Is it confidential? Maybe if it has very sensitive data, or is it just a normal email, personal or public or general? So these are called sensitivity labels. So these reports on Microsoft Purview will um, assist us in monitoring sensitivity labels adoption. Then you can see which files have labels, which emails have labels. You can assess the protection coverage. Basically, you can see whether your data is protected or not based on the reports. We will go through the reports, then you can see exactly what they're talking about. You can analyze interactions with labeled content. You can track data access, movement, and policy violations. So the reports, they give you an overview of how your data is looking like, whether it's protected, what's protected, what is labeled, what is not labeled. You can track the access of your data, who has access to your data. You can review the encryption trends. I did explain what encryption is and how it works last week. If you were not with us last week, there is a video on this platform. You can just go and check out that video. Verify email and file encryption across multiple platforms. The reports will also give us insights into Microsoft Purview data governance, and they'll also help us to monitor findings from Microsoft Purview information protection scanner. Okay, let's go to the reports and then let's see exactly what are they referring to here. I'll go and share the screen. Okay, I'll come here, click on reports. Okay, you see right now I haven't applied any access control to access, so that's why you don't see anything yet here. Let's scroll down. And then right now you can see the protection coverage or what is protected currently on my domain. Exchange is protected. OneDrive. So I still need to add other things so that they can be protected as well. Okay, right now it shows 32 not protected and 6 files in OneDrive not protected. So I still need to create policies. And then it shows no sensitivity labels applied to assets in non-Microsoft 365. So basically, if you're using other systems like AWS, which is a non-Microsoft platform, you can also add it here. But I don't have it. I'm using just Microsoft for now. Sensitivity labels coverage for Microsoft 365. So basically, the files that are labeled, it shows on my side 32 files on Exchange, and then on OneDrive, I've labeled 6 files. I can even click here just to explore all those files. I can see them. I can see what's labeled and what is not labeled. So it shows here highly confidential files, 6 items were found. So general, 6 items, confidential files, 2. So you can see, so it gives you an overview basically of your data, what's confidential, what's not confidential, what's personal, what's sensitive. Okay, let's go back. So basically, that's what reports can do for you. They can even give you like a percentage. You can see if most of your data was covered, then you will get like a percentage here. I just need to add the policies, then I'll be able to see this graph as well. Okay, let's scroll. Let's go down. I want to share Data Explorer. So this one will provide detailed visibility into labeled and sensitive content. I will show you later on how this one works. Okay, let's focus. Let's start on this one. Protection coverage. I'm going to go to the Microsoft Purview tab. So this one will show you the percentage of encrypted and access controlled data across the cloud and on-premise. So the percentage is this one. And then it identifies gaps in encryption and access control policies. So let's tab reports. So on my side, it doesn't show yet because I have not access control not applied to any assets um, in non-Microsoft 365. Okay, let's click on this one, explore protection. Okay, I still have to get a license for Azure subscription so that I can be able to see this one. I can't see it right now. Okay, let's move on to this one. Sensitivity label coverage. So the whole purpose of reports, remember, is to have an overview, to see like a whole picture of what's happening with your data in terms of protection, in terms of the labels that have been assigned. The labels such as confidential, highly confidential, public, personal. So you need to, if you want to see a picture of what's happening with your data in terms of its security, its protection, you come to reports. So that's the point which I'm trying to convey. Let's go to sensitivity label coverage. So this one is for if you want to see a percentage of labeled versus unlabeled items across your Microsoft 365, Azure, AWS, and on premise. So, what's the purpose of wanting to see this? So, it ensures sensitive data is labeled for proper protection and governance. So, this will give you a picture of what's not labeled and what is labeled. Let me go to Microsoft Purview, and then we can have a look. Here it is, sensitivity label coverage. And on my side, this is what I have currently on my side. This is what's labeled on my side. I want to see if I can see what's not labeled. Okay, I don't have any retention labels. This is something that will attend later. Okay, confidential. Okay, there it is. I'm gonna open here. I wanna see um what is the confidential file. Okay. So it shows that the files that have the confidential label are these two files. So now you can see on your if you wanted to see in your company or your domain what kind of files have been assigned the confidential label, then you will come here and click here, and then you'll be able to see all the files here. So in my domain right now, this is the files that I have been labeled confidential. Okay, let's go back um, on this tab. Okay, that was sensitivity label coverage. That's what it can do for you. Now let's go to this one, data scanning summary. So this one basically it shows the percentage of scanned data sources across cloud and on premises. So remember, the first thing that you do when you implement this platform, Microsoft Purview, the first thing that you have to do is scan the current environment where it's going to be implemented, right? So it has to scan all the data. the databases or the emails, the files, and then that scanning history will be located here, data scanning summary. And data scanning summary basically it will show the percentage of the scanned data sources across the cloud and on premise. So what's the purpose? It's to detect unscanned areas that might pose compliance risks. So remember, you cannot protect what you don't know that it exists. So that's why it has to scan everything. So you have to make sure that you locate all the data sources and then get them to be scanned. Okay, now let's go to soft purview. Let's see the data scanning summary on my side. I'm gonna scroll down. There's the data scanning summary. So far, the data sources that have been scanned on my side or on my cloud platform is SharePoint, OneDrive, Exchange, and Teams. And it shows they're fully scanned. I can click here on review scans. And it shows that all these data sources have been scanned. So if I buy, let's say I connect another server, and maybe that server will be storing new data. I'll have to attach it here so that it can be scanned as well. And then once it's scanned, then the data that's on that server will have to apply labels. It will have to be classified whether it's sensitive, whether it's confidential, or whether it's just normal or personal data or it's public data. Okay, let's go back here. Now, the reason of classifying data, I did explain for those of you who were part of us last week, is that the systems have to know exactly which data is more important and how to protect it. So that's why we have to label it and give it those labels: public, sensitive, confidential, highly confidential. Okay, now let's focus on this one, sensitivity label usage. So this one basically is for top sensitivity labels applied to files across all connected environments. So it helps track label adoption trends, and identify policy gaps. So if you want to see which labels are used the most in your environment, let's say you want to know, um, most of your files, do they use the sensitivity label or the sensitive label, or do they use the confidential label, or do they use the highly confidential label the most? I'll share my screen on, I'll share Outlook, then you can see. So in your environment, maybe you want to know which label is used the most. Is it general? Is it confidential? Is it highly confidential? Is it public? Then you will go, then you will go here on the sensitivity label usage. Okay, now let's go to Microsoft Purview. Let's see my side. which label is used the most. So on my side, you can see sensitivity label usage. The most label that is used is this one, personal, and then comes general, and then highly confidential, confidential, sensitive. So 21 files right now use personal, the personal label. So let's click on explore applied labels. Then you can get even deeper to see exactly which files are that. Let me see on personal. I'm clicking on OneDrive. I want to see which files use the personal label. I'm going to click on that. So then it shows there. These are the files that are using this personal label. And this is the file that's using the sensitive label. I can even see the emails, not just the files. So it can even show me the emails. Let's click applied, and then let's go to exchange. Click there. How many people do we have? 7 watching. If you do me a favor, click on the like button so that YouTube can share this video with the other people who wanna watch this video as well. So there it shows the files or emails which have been used for or have been assigned with a personal label. Okay, I just want to see if it will show the email. So you can see it even shows you the content of the email. So this is what the email was about. So I was doing a test sharing fake credit card number, and then that email was assigned a personal label. So it was just a test. It shows you, it gives you all the information, when it was sent, who sent it. Okay, so that's what a sensitivity label usage is all about. Okay, let's go and see if we can go to some questions. Okay, I'm going to share this tab. Okay, we've got 8 people watching. While you're watching, do me a favor, click on the like button. Um, so YouTube will share this for those guys who are not able, who are not aware that we're having these classes, and then they can also come and watch. Okay, let's try this question. Let's see if some of you guys will be able to get this one. So, what is the primary purpose of the protection coverage report? So, what is the main? What does this show basically? This is the first section that I showed you on Microsoft Purview. Remember when I said on my section it doesn't show because I have to buy Azure subscription? Let me show you a hint. Okay, let me go back to Purview and then I know you'll be able to get it if I do that. I'll click on reports. Okay, Puleng, you're saying A. Let's see if it's really A. They're referring to this protection coverage. Okay, now let's go back here. So do you still say A or do you want to change and give it and try something else? Okay, correct answer is D. No? To identify gaps in encryption and access control policies. Let me go to Purview and then you can see. Yes, D. No? So coverage, it's about this access control. No? So protection coverage, access control and encryption. So that's why the correct answer is D. Okay, now which report would you use to ensure that sensitive data across Microsoft 365, Azure, and AWS is properly classified? I'll give you a hint. So how would you know which which labels are used on which data? Which option would you use here? That's what they're asking you. Puleng, you're saying my screen is not clear. The other guys, are you able to see my screen? Is my screen clear? Is it only one person or is it everyone? Let me try and do this. Is it still not clear, Puleng? The other guys who are on the live, can you see the screen or is it just one person? Just confirm. If you can see the screen, just type yes for me. If you can't, just type no for me. Okay. All right. You can see. All right. That's good. All right. Let's go for question two. Which report would you use to ensure that sensitive data across Microsoft 365, Azure, and AWS is properly classified? So, which report would you use to check if data has been labeled? Sharon, you saying D. Okay, let's go to Microsoft Purview. Let's confirm. If we want to see that data is labeled, unlabeled, we would use this sensitivity label coverage. As it shows the labeled and unlabeled items containing sensitive data across your data sources. So if we wanted to ensure that data is properly classified and labeled, we will use which one? So which one would we use based on what I've just shown you right now? Okay, correct answer. Sensitivity label coverage. This is the one. This is where you confirm what is labeled and what is not, what is classified and what is not. Okay, let's go back on this tab here. I want to come to this one, email encryption summary. So this report here, email encryption summary, basically it shows the number of emails encrypted manually or by policy, right? So it ensures confidential emails are properly protected. So if I go back to my email, so every email that I send will be documented on that email encryption summary, whether it has a label or not, whether it's protected or not by these labels. Now let's go to Microsoft Purview tab. Let's scroll down. Okay, there's the email encryption summary. And it shows that emails that were recently encrypted manually by users or automatically by mail flow rules, DLP policies, or auto labeling policies. And then here we can generate the report. So all of these reports are very important. Remember, every company gets audited, and also management will also want to see whether the company data is being protected. So these reports will help in that regard. Okay, it's still generating the email um, encryption report. It's going to take a while. Let's go to this tab here. Top activities detected. So this report basically logs of file access or labeling changes, DLP matches, and encryption actions. So if someone changes a label of a file or an email from, let's say, from confidential, they make it public or personal, you'll be able to see file or logs of file access. DLP matches. So for those of you who were here last week, I did show you what a DLP is and how it works. So what's the purpose of this report? Is to detect unauthorized modifications or suspicious access patterns. So if basically I'm an insider threat, maybe if I work for a company, I want to change a certain file from being confidential, and then maybe I change the label on that file, you'll be able to see from this report here. So the main purpose of this report is to detect unauthorized modifications or suspicious access patterns. Okay, let's go to Microsoft Purview. Let's see this top activities detected. Okay, I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna scroll down. Okay, there it is. Top activities detected. You can see label changed. There are labels that have been changed here. Two labels have been changed. Labels applied. There were four labels applied. So let's explore more activities. Let's see exactly what happens, why labels changed, when. These are the labels that have been changed. Then if you want to investigate more, you can even click there. Then you can see all the information. You can see the file name. This is the file where the label was changed. You can even see when, who changed it, or what is the IP address of that specific machine, the date, what time. So the label was upgraded, meaning it had a lower label before, meaning it had a label such as personal or maybe public, and then the label was upgraded to a more strict label to confidential. Usually that happens maybe if maybe the file didn't have sensitive or confidential information before, but as time went by, maybe confidential information was added on that file, and then that's when normally a label will be upgraded on that file to say this file is changed. It's no longer just a general file. Right now, it's a confidential file. So that's why there's an upgrade. You see, if it even shows here the old sensitivity label, it was personal, and then the current one is confidential. And you can see the file path. You can even open the file and see exactly what's on that file, why it was upgraded to confidential file. Okay, so that's what top activities detected can do for you. It can show you the files, the labels that have been changed, DLP matches, log or file access, encryption actions. Now let's go to this one, sensitive information types. So what is this report for? This is the report that shows the most commonly detected sensitive data types. For example, credit card numbers, medical data, ID numbers, physical addresses. So this report helps identify high risk data needing protection. Okay, let's go to reports. Let's see the sensitive information types on my side here. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down. Okay, these are the top sensitive information types that I have currently on my domain. So let's say if my company was a bank, the top one probably would be maybe something like credit card numbers. So if right here I was just doing an example, I saved a lot of medical documents, and that's why I chose here medical terms and conditions and diseases, full names, physical addresses. So right now it looks like my company is a hospital. If let's say my company was MTN, then it would show the ID numbers because MD these Vodacom, MTN, they use a lot of ID numbers for RICA, account numbers, physical addresses. So let's click explore SIT. Okay, let's click on SharePoint. I just want to see what files are there. Okay, I'm gonna click there. I want to see what is this file that shows. Okay, I think this was an email. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, let me click on full names. Um, full names. I just want to see the files that will show that has been identified as full names. I'll click here. Okay, business. Let me click on business purchase contract. So this file here contains some full names, physical addresses. So if you want to go and see the file, you can click here. Then you'll be able to open the file and see the contents of the file. Then you can see the contents, full names, addresses, and all that information. Let's go back on here. So that's what sensitive information type mean, right? It's physical addresses, credit card numbers, so all that personal information we identified as sensitive information type. So if you joined us last week, then you saw exactly how we create custom ones, and then also this Microsoft platform does come with pre-configured sensitive information types that you can use. Now let's go to this one, data sources with sensitive info. So what's the purpose of or what is this report here? Data sources with sensitive info. So this report will show the top locations where labeled or sensitive data is stored. Data sources are where files or emails are stored, like SharePoint, OneDrive, Exchange, Microsoft Azure, AWS. That will be considered data sources. And what's the purpose of this report? It identifies the data concentration areas to enhance security controls. So basically, you'll be able to know or see exactly where you need to put more effort in terms of protecting your data. Now let's go to Microsoft Purview. Let's see on my side here. I'm going to share this tab. Okay, reports. Okay, top data sources with sensitive information types. So currently, my highest data source is this OneDrive. So that means most of my files are saved in OneDrive. SharePoint is only, you can see it's only 2. OneDrive is 11. So a lot of this. Let's click on Explore. Then it gives me more data here. There's 21 sensitivity labels. There's 3 trainable classifiers. Let me click on OneDrive. Let me click on confidential. Okay, let me come here. Data catalog. So this is where you can see your data sources. And then discovery, data assets. So this is where you'll add all your data sources. Okay, now let's focus on this one. Trainable classifiers. So the difference between last week, we did speak about this trainable classifier and this sensitive information type. This one uses AI. So when you go to this report for trainable classifiers, this one is the most used AI classifier for auto labeling, and it supports automated classification for large scale data protection. So it can be automated. So instead of me coming here on Outlook, so instead of me coming here doing this manually, clicking here and then choosing the label, trainable classifiers will identify whatever information I add on the email. It will detect whether it's a sensitive, maybe if it's credit card or ID numbers, anything which can be deemed sensitive. It will use AI to detect all that information, and then it will give it the appropriate label here so that it gets protected. Okay, let's go to some questions. Let's see if you guys will. We're listening. Okay, let's have a look at this question here. Number three. A compliance manager is concerned that some data repositories have not been scanned for sensitive information. Which report should they consult? This one should be easy. Let's see the answer in the chat. If you think you know the answer, even if you don't think you know the answer, which report would they go to if they want to see what's scanned and what is not scanned? There's a hint. We want to take this one. Let's see. Okay, I'll go back to Microsoft Purview so that I'll make it easier. I'll click here, then I'll click reports, then I'll come here. You should know the answer, man. By now, you should know the answer. Is it A, is it B, is it C, or is it D? Okay, correct answer is D. No? Data scanning summary will provide you the information of what is scanned or which data sources have been scanned and what is not scanned. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, so which report is best for tracking the adoption and usage trends of specific sensitivity labels like confidential and internal use only? So, which report would I go to if I want to see if specific labels have been used? That's what they're asking here. Let's click on show hint. Peterson, you're saying D. Let's go to Microsoft Purview. Then you can see if Peterson, if you're correct. If I want to see which sensitivity labels are being used, I'll come here. Sensitivity label usage. This is where I can see top labels. Includes labels applied manually by users or automatically by policies. This is where I'll come. And then I'll come here, explore applied labels, then I can see. So based on that, what's the answer, Mr. Peterson? Do you still say D? Correct answer will be this one. Sensitivity label usage. This is where you can see who's using which labels applied. Okay, let's go to the next one. Number 5, what is the main function of the top activities detected report? What is the main function of this report here? That's what they're asking. I can even show you a hint. Let's see if you guys will know this one. What do you think is the answer on this one? Keyword is this one, activities. They want to detect activities. Oh, okay, okay. Sorry, Peterson. You were referring to the previous one. Okay, sorry. Okay, my screen was delayed. Sorry about that. So, what is the answer to this one? Question number 5. Top activities detected. Okay, let's go to Microsoft Purview. Then I can show you. Um, top activities detected. This report is used for recent activities detected relating to classification, sensitivity label, and data loss prevention. You can see if somebody changed the label, label changed, label applied. So that's what this label, or that's what this report is for. So the answer for this one will be C. Okay, let's go to number 6. You need to find, yes, Bullion, you're correct. You need to find out, uh, yeah, you guys are correct. Let's see. You need to find out which types of sensitive data, such as credit card numbers or medical records, are most common in your environment. Which report provides this information? So, this information like credit cards, medical records, what are they defined as basically? What do we call them in data security? What do we classify them as? Yes, bullying, you are correct. Sensitive information types. ID numbers, physical addresses, phone numbers, credit cards, driver's license numbers. Those are classified as sensitive information types. Okay, let's go to the next one. So, what is the primary benefit of using the data sources with sensitive info report? What is the primary benefit of using this report? data sources with sensitive info. I can give you a hint. Okay, let's go to Microsoft Purview. You can see exactly what they're referring to. They're referring to this one, this report. What is the primary benefit of using this? So this one, um, it gives you a clue. So it gives you an overview of where most of your data comes from, which data sources. Yes, Bullion, you're correct. It's A. Identifies data concentration areas to enhance security controls. Okay, let's go to number 8. To verify that your company policy or your company's policy for automatically encrypting emails containing financial data is working, which report should you check? Which report are you going to check to ensure that your emails are being automatically encrypted? Where are you going to check? On which report? That's what they're asking. Yeah. Yes, Boolean, you're correct. Email encryption summary. Yeah, this one. Email encryption summary. Okay, let's go to the next one. What is the purpose of the trainable classifiers report? So when we go to this report, what's the purpose? Why are we going to this report? For trainable classifiers. So you need to know, what is this trainable classifiers? What is this? How does it work? Screen, then you can see. What is the purpose of the trainable classifiers report? Is it A, to find gaps in encryption? Is it B, to track the most used AI classifiers for auto labeling? Is it C, to log all files, all file access and modification? Or is it D, to identify the most common types of sensitive data? Yes, it's B, no? Trainable classifiers use AI, so for auto labeling. So come to my email. If I use trainable classifiers, they will automatically classify or assign a label automatically. I don't have to do it manually. Okay, let's go to the next one. A security team wants to analyze trends in how confidential documents are being shared externally to determine if their data loss prevention policies are effective. Which tool is best suited for this task? So they want to know, when confidential data documents are being shared externally, does the data loss prevention policies detect and work or monitor and block sensitive data. So that's what they're asking you. Where do we check whether um, Microsoft Purview is able to detect sensitive data being shared externally? Where do we check? That's what they're asking you on this question here. Okay, we'll come back to this one. I want to show you something. I think we haven't touched on that one yet. Let's go back here. Okay, let's talk about these two here, Data Explorer and Content Explorer. So these ones, they provide visibility into classified data across your organization. So the first one here, Data Explorer, it provides um, consolidated view of classified data. Consolidated just means they bring data together into one place and make it easier to analyze. And yeah, they show you all the classification types all at once. Basically, all the information that I was showing you here. If you go to, if we click, maybe let's click here. You look at the top there, it shows Data Explorer. So that's what Data Explorer does. It shows you all this sensitive info types, sensitive labels. It brings everything together into one place. So that's what Data Explorer does. And then this one, Content Explorer, it also offers similar insights as a Data Explorer, but it requires more navigation to see the classification details, meaning you have to go a little bit more deeper and click and identify to get the classification details. Let's go back here. So this is Data Explorer, and then this is Content Explorer. So it does Content Explorer does similar thing to this, but Content Explorer is classic, meaning it came from the older version of this platform, Microsoft Purview. This Data Explorer is the more modern way of searching, of viewing labels, sensitive information. Context Explorer is the old way, so that's why it's more manual. You have to click, and let me click here. So you see, it shows similar things, but it's more. It's not. You see how it shows here. This is the file. This is the. Let me click on all full names, meaning that this one will probably disappear in the next coming. Okay, I can't even access it here. So when they release the new product of Microsoft Purview, this one will eventually disappear. Only this one will remain. So yeah, it is they are similar, but this one is a bit more requires more navigation. Content Explorer. This one is more easier to use. Data Explorer. So these are the differences between these Data Explorer and Content Explorer. That's the differences. So it shows Data Explorer shows more information, shows information types, sensitivity labels, trainable classifiers, retention labels. But this one, the older one, Content Explorer, requires that you navigate into each location to view details. So those are the differences. And this one is a modern one. It includes Copilot as a data source. This one does not list Copilot because this is the older way. Um, okay. Okay, now let's talk about this Activity Explorer. So this one basically tracks how a label content or labeled content is accessed, modified, and shared. So if you have files which have labels such as confidential, highly confidential, you want to see how are those files accessed, modified, and shared. You'll come here on the Activity Explorer. Let's go to Microsoft Purview so that you can see Activity Explorer. This is Activity Explorer here. And then it shows the files, what happened to the files. You can see it shows some files that the labels were changed. And you can click on it, you can see which file, then it shows here's the file. The label was changed from the old label to the new current label. You can see when a label was applied to a file, which file and which user, the IP address of the PC. So this one was not a file, it was actually an email. So that's what Activity Explorer can do. You see how the labeled files are used, accessed, and shared, right? Okay, let's go back to questions. Okay, so let's look at number 10. A security team wants to analyze trends in how confidential documents are being shared externally to determine if data loss prevention policies are effective. Which tool is best suited for this task? So, which tool will be used? Which tool is used for tracking users' actions? Which tool will show me who changed maybe a label on a file? When? That's what they're asking. Which is what I was just showing you just now. Activity Explorer. Okay, and then the last question. Which tool provides consolidated view of classified data, making it easier to analyze multiple classification types at once? Which tool is easier to use to analyze or view classified data? It's a modern tool. This tool is the newer version, so I made it easier for you. Okay, correct answer is this one, Data Explorer. Okay, so that was the lesson for today. I wanted to show you guys how we do reports, what we use to do the reports, why we do them, and what is the purpose when it comes to data security. So we're gonna have classes again Mondays and Wednesday, same time, 7:30 in the evening. And for those of you guys who want to know what can you do with this information, you can go write this exam. All of this information is part of this exam here. Microsoft certification or certified information security administrator associate. So you can go once you are done with this course, you can basically go and write this exam and you can get the certification. If you have any questions, you can contact me on any social media platforms. Thank you guys for joining. And then we'll meet again on Monday, 7:30.